how can Egypt strengthen its position as a key mediator, especially after Israel's attack on Doha, given that Cairo is already leading efforts with Washington to secure a Gaza ceasefire?
I think this violation proven to everybody that Israel has no limit and has no respect to military. And the decision, it seems, made in Israel to continue in their war strife, and they will not stop by any borders, being it a diplomatic relation with a country like Qatar, who played a fundamental role in negotiation. And up till the attack itself, the leaders of Hamas were discussing the outcome of the latest proposition by the United States administration towards a ceasefire. So it is a bright state that has no limit, and it enjoys full support from the United States. And time has come to the world community to stop the carnage in Gaza, the attack over the sovereignty of the nation, as we have witnessed today. This is the time for the Arab world, for the Gulf states, for the world community to stop Israel. How to stop Israel? I guess that the Security Council should take the first step by condoning what happened. At the same time, take action. Say, for example, a suggestion of a no-fly zone over Gaza. At the same time, condemning the attack on Doha, who played an important role over the past few years to stop and to reach a ceasefire. The second most important, a delegation to visit Washington from the Gulf state countries. Qatar shouldn't be alone, because this aggression is not only an aggression on one sovereign state, it's an aggression on the Arab League. It's a violation of the relation that exists between Israel and Qatar. I think Qatar has also, as the United Arab Emirates said yesterday, this Abraham Accord is threatened and it has to be announced. A delegation should visit Washington to tell the administration that Israel wouldn't have taken such action without the approval of the United States. They cannot fool anybody. And I think one of the Israeli sources said that an approval has been obtained from the United States. So there is no to the role dedicated to Qatar. Qatar has played a similar role with Taliban, and the United States did not attack the Taliban delegation, even mission, diplomatic mission in Qatar. This is a respected role to drive a crisis into solution, and Qatar mediators were engaged over the past few days to discuss the American proposition by Steve Witkoff, and Hamas itself has accepted. It means, Ahmed, that Israel doesn't want really to hear about Hamas accepting a peace deal. They want also to demonize Hamas, to let the situation where we are. So back again to what we can do. As I said, Qatar has to take action into this Abrahamic Accord. Qatar should also reduce the presence of the American in the Al Adid base, because there is no value of having such a huge investment in the American troops while they leave the sovereignty of Qatar being violated like that. And in the Security Council, it is not about condemnation, but a no-fly zone should be imposed tomorrow in Gaza, Ahmed. They lost. Most important, a sanction regime should be imposed on Israel. They will not listen to condemnation. They will listen to sanctions.
Yes, well, Your Excellency, speaking of condemnations, the Arab League was quick to condemn the Israeli strike earlier. How significant is the Arab League's condemnation when viewed through Egypt's leadership role within the League? Could this moment mark a chance for Cairo to rally a stronger collective Arab stance?
I think this is a situation where Qatar should not be left alone. As I mentioned, the Gulf Council countries should react. The Arab League has reacted. Egypt can definitely lead a delegation along with the Gulf Council, to talk to the administration that the endorsement of the Israeli action is quite clear, and Washington has shown that it is not only to the side of Israel, it is to the side of interest. It is to the side of attacking sovereignty, and this should find an element. Maybe reducing the American troops in Al Adid base, military base, is important. The withdrawal and the freeze of all the Abrahamic Accords is a good message. At the same time, call for a no-fly zone, and the United States should understand that this Air Force is used to destabilize the region, and time has come that the world community in the General Assembly meeting gather forces to recognize fully Palestine as an independent state. And we should, Ahmed, revise the role of the apartheid committee listed already in the structure of the UN to call for sanctions as the apartheid regime falls because of those sanctions in South Africa. Time has come to impose the same to the occupation, which has been described by the decree of the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, in its historical ruling in July last year, that the occupation is an apartheid regime in itself. So imposing the same sanctions on Israel, while we have an institutional framework to sanction in the United Nations, is the key. We shouldn't let the situation without punishment.
Yes.
Otherwise, Israel will continue doing what it is doing and maybe drag other forces into the war circles that it has created.
Well, Mr. Ambassador, how might Egypt's strong condemnation and call for the international action influence diplomatic relations and efforts to restore stability in the Middle East, and more specifically, its mediation efforts to reach a Gaza ceasefire?
Look, Ahmed, it is not now about Egypt alone. Egypt will do all its in hand, all what it can, and we have been doing that. And you have seen what they have done to a respectable mediation like this of Qatar, one of the closest allies to the United States and Israel, and in the region. And Egypt may continue the humanitarian convoys to Gaza, continue its work for a ceasefire. But the Israeli leadership has shown that they do not care about a ceasefire. What about Hamas accepting twice the early proposition of Steve Witkoff, and then the American amended proposition just a couple of days ago in Cairo? They met with the officials
Yes.
from Qatar and the United States, and here we see the result. Israel has no border, has no limit, but to continue the ethnic cleansing. And allow me, Ahmed, at the last point, we should raise our voice and act at the International Court of Justice to expedite the discussion over the Israeli case of ethnic cleansing. We should not let ICJ subject to pressure from the United States or other sources.
Yes,
we
for
should
sure.
support